Hey there. Movie reviewer next door, and it's gonna be kind of an odd one, excuse me. Because there's not really all that much to talk about with this one. I just kind of wanted to do a video review to give more extended thoughts on certain bits of the film, but I'm mostly just confused. Now, did I like this film? No, not really. The film in question is Keys to Tulsa, 1997. The only reason I know what this is my mom randomly, we had a beach condo, and we would go to like Dollar General around there, or around Surf City, around that area, North Topsail, and we'd like find cheap movies to just have there. We had Mask of Zorro, which I love. We had Leon the Professional, which is my favorite film of all time. And we had this, which I didn't remember most of what happened. I just knew that Eric Stoltz and James Spader were in it. So I decided to revisit it because I randomly just thought of it. I was like, oh yeah, I remember that movie. I'm guessing this film didn't have a big a big theater run. It didn't make all that much money. I think it made like 17,000 or something like that, which I can see why. It did have like a early release or like a short release, limited release, that's what it's called, where it was only in like a few theaters for maybe a weekend or a week. But this film just confuses me. Not because it's layered or anything. I've seen some reviews call it layered. This film does not get that great of reviews, even though I don't give a shit what Rotten Tomatoes says. It has a 10% on there, but it has like a 5.1 on IMDb. Sorry if you hear sounds. The washing machine's a bit loud, and I kind of pressed for time. But there are many things in this movie that boggle my mind. Now, is this near the worst movie I've ever seen? No. I wasn't bored. I was more just wondering when the next plot relevant thing was going to happen, because this film does move very slow. It is 153 minutes. There is an unrated cut on VHS and Laserdisc, I think. I don't think the DVD that we had at the beach condo was unrated. I do remember the sex scene between Eric Stoltz and Joanna being quite a bit longer. But maybe that was unrated and it just didn't say. I'll have to look it up. But my main issue with this movie is it's trying to do too many things at once. It's going for like suspense, it's going for drama, it's going for a romance, it's going for a thriller, it's going for neo-noir, it's going for comedy. And it doesn't work for most of them. The film is very glacially paced and not in a good way. When I said in my Angel series review, when I said Angel 3 was kind of glacially paced, I meant that in a good way, where it was deliberately slowly paced and meant to be more neo-noir, or more of a slowly she turns the tables on the villain, and then the ending is very satisfying. Here, while the ending, yes, it doesn't do the whole thing where it's like gunshot fade to black and you don't know what happened to the characters. It does let you know what happened, but I wasn't satisfied by the ending of this movie. I'm not doing a spoiler review for this movie. I think people should at least watch it for the cast, maybe. That's one of my issues. I'm going to see if the camera will pick this up. This is the poster for the movie. So you have Eric Stoltz, Yes, he is the main character. He is in a lot of the movie. Sorry about the lines going down. It's because it's a webcam filming a phone. Cameron Diaz. Cameron Diaz is in the first scene of the film and no other scenes. Mary Tyler Moore. Mary Tyler Moore plays Eric Stoltz's character's mother. She's in about 3 scenes, has maybe 5 minutes of screen time. James Coburn has 2 scenes in the film. 2 scenes in the entire film, maybe makes up about 3 minutes. Deborah Kara Unger, main character. She is in quite a lot of the movie. Michael Rooker, he kind of comes in and out. Peter Strauss is in 2 or 3 scenes. Joanna Going is a main player in the movie. I don't know why she's that low. And James Spader. James Spader is also a main character. Now, I really just don't understand why the cast is listed like this. I know that cast listings are like decided by the agents thing. Who the fuck put Cameron Diaz's second build? Now, on the DVD, it says Eric Stoltz, James Spader, Cameron Diaz. And then on the front cover, it's the other poster. Maybe I can get the other poster and show you. There you go. It is this poster. Eric Stoltz on the right, James Spader on the left, and Deborah Kara Unger there. The DVD cover is this exact poster, but with the names Eric Stoltz, James Spader, Cameron Diaz. As if this is supposed to be Cameron Diaz. It is Deborah Kara Unger, not Cameron Diaz. Cameron Diaz is a one-off comedy character at the beginning of the film to set up that the main character is kind of a fuck up. But it's kind of hard to explain what the film is about, even, because it's very vague, that's for sure. And this movie is also trying to be kind of edgy, and it just doesn't work. I'm fine with edgy movies. There are many edgy movies that work for me. Law Abiding Citizen, other than the from the I think Law Abiding Citizen works from the beginning of the movie up until when Clyde blows up the cars. When Clyde blows up the cars, that is when the movie goes downhill for me, because the whole movie up until then seemed to be setting up Clyde as like an anti-hero. Like, while he was still killing people, he was still like kind of the good guy, and Nick was kind of a fucking asshole. And yet it was sold as if he was the main star, even though Gerard Butler, I'm pretty sure Gerard Butler's in it more. But I just did not care for Nick. I cared more for Clyde because of what had happened to him and how the justice system fucked him over. But in this, the edginess is almost distracting. It's one of those things, like, it'll be like, oh, a character, there's like a scene where a character runs into a bedroom while 2 people are having sex, and he's like, oh, he's got a camera, and he's like, grab his cock, and I'm like, is this trying to be a Tarantino moment? Like, even though Tarantino wasn't huge at this time, it was 97, so I think that was the same year that Jackie Brown came out. It kind of feels like someone trying to do Tarantino. And I'm not even the hugest Tarantino fan. I love a lot of his movies. I still wouldn't call him one of my favorite directors. But this director, Leslie Greif, has directed 4 other movies. uh, a Brando documentary, 10 Rules for Sleeping Around, and Funny Money. So I'm guessing this person is more of a producer. Produced shows like The Offer, about the making of The Godfather, Hatfields and McCoy's, Girl in the Basement. So it's very clear that he's more of a producer, even though he hasn't produced a ton, but he's produced more than he's directed. His direction's all right. There are many times where scenes kind of just cut. I know that's the editor's job. The editor still takes, like, the director still tells the editor, "Oh, I want to do this." So it's both the director and the editor in a way. There are quite a few scenes that don't add up tonally. The tone is all over the place. It'll go from, dark scene of a character recounting a murder of of a good friend, to a wedding scene where there's like slapstick comedy. It just does not work in the context of this trying to be like a dark, edgy crime thriller. Let me get to the characters. Or the acting. The actors, whatever. Eric Stoltz, he works. I'm not the biggest fan of him, but he works for this type of character. He's kind of a fuck up. He's a ginger. No offense to any gingers, but the whole joke about redheaded stepchild works for this character. Cameron Diaz does nothing really. She's kind of annoying in her 2-minute long role, maybe 2 minutes. Mary Tyler Moore as Richter, which is Eric Stoltz's character's mother. She's very over the top and not in a good way. She's very annoying. James Coburn, he's kind of just there to be like, oh, we got James Coburn in the movie, and then he's in like 2 scenes. Deborah Kara Unger was good, or decent at least. She has many good moments of acting, like moments where she has to cry and talk about how she doesn't like being with a certain person, and she works. She does have a bit of a weird southern accent that took a bit of getting used to. I know she's done it before, but she is South African, I'm pretty sure. I can check, but I usually like her. Yeah. No, she's Canadian. Oh, okay. Yeah, she's Canadian. Michael Rooker is good. I kind of wish the movie was about him. He's such a more interesting character than Eric Stoltz is. Peter Strauss, meh. Joanna Going was fine. She's very hot in the movie. Don't get me wrong, she is very hot. But I also just wish there was a little bit more to a character than just being like, oh, every so often her boob slips out. Like, I get it, she's a stripper, but it's a bit annoying. James Spader is bad. He is bad in the film. I like James Spader as an actor. He's just bad in the film. He doesn't work as this, like, terrifying... Sorry, I hit my mic. As this, like, scary, like, drug dealer. There's literally a scene where he falls asleep while Richter is talking to him, and it's just like, dude, wake the fuck up and actually give a performance. It's annoying. But yeah, there's just not much to say about this. Like, I wish I had more to say. But this film is just kind of meanders along. It's almost 2 hours long again. It was in dire need of, like, I don't know, action. I hate to say action, but, like, how many people get shot in this movie? Pretty sure just one person gets shot in this movie. There are other guns that go off, but they're hitting flower pots. But yeah, I think just one person gets shot in the movie. It's when you hear crime movie, this is listed on Google as suspense thriller or suspense drama. I didn't really get any suspense. There was one scene with Michael Rooker, Eric Stoltz, and Deborah Kara Unger, and if you've seen the movie and you know it well, you'll know what scene I'm talking about, where I actually thought something bad was going to happen. That was the one scene in the movie where I actually felt fear or danger, impending doom or anything. But I just I don't know. I just wish there was more to the movie. While I'm not angry, I know I've got the red lights and I gave it a 4 out of 10. There's just not much to talk about. I kind of rather it was just straight up bad, because then there would be something to talk about. And I know it's already 16 minutes and it's already longer than a normal review. I just don't know where to go with this. I guess if you're curious for the cast, even though Mary Tyler Moore and James Coburn aren't even that good in the movie, they're kind of just winging it for a paycheck, it seems. If you want to support indie film, because this is an indie film, it's just an indie film I don't like. There are plenty of people that will say it's layered and has a lot of subtext, which is with all indie films, it seems. Or at least indie films that are popular. But this one wasn't even popular. Pretty much no one talks about it. So that means my video is going to get 0 views. But whatever. I'm doing this for fun. Fuck it. But yeah, that's about all I can say about it. I just wish there was a better version of this film. And I'll just say it straight up. I hate the ending. I hate who ends up I hate the characters ending up with certain other characters, because they don't deserve the shit that happens to them because of those characters. And I just really found it left a bad taste in my mouth. But other than that, there's not much to say. So I guess if you like the review, comment, whatever. If you have any requests for anything I should watch, put them in the comments section. And I've been Movie Reviewer Next Door, and I'll see you later.